match for both of these squads. Once again, Gorilla Rugby in the multicolored jerseys with the black shorts. Saratoga Jockeys with the jersey exchange from yesterday in the white and yellow jerseys. We'll get this one underway. Bit of a bobble for it. Backwards, says the referee, and we'll play forward. Good use of hands all the way to here to the near side of the pitch. Gorilla Rugby ready to make that tackle. The Saratoga Jockeys side really came out of their shoes this morning, putting up big points, and now they've got some space on the outside, but this one is lost. Scooped up by Gorilla, and they will take it the distance. Over the line they go, going to try and center it as much as he can. But a big-time try, just like that. One bounce with the ball, sends it back over for a try for Gorilla.
And who else but Zach Jackson had a hat trick in the semifinal earlier, and this one finds him far too easy for number 15 for Gorilla. As talented as Mr. Jackson is, you can't give him a gift like this. A poor ball sits up, and Jackson, no one back defensively. The Dallas native streaking through, and able to downshift a good 20 meters from the goal line as Gorilla finding the opening points.
Got to hand it to Jackson there. Gave that defensive pressure, forced kind of an errant pass, and then was Johnny on the spot to scoop that one up and take it the distance, just as we've seen throughout the day.
And Jackson, one of the main attacking threats for Gorilla, and that time Jockey just making it far too easy.
Royal Jones will get us going inside their own 22, knocked on. Advantage is going to be played here, but it's scooped up. No advantage gain, and we'll have a scrum down. So a couple times in a row, the Jockeys shooting themselves in the foot here early in this match.
Yeah, we've seen some optimistic, I'm going to say, passes from the Jockeys kind of getting in trouble, and fortunate that that one will come back and they will have the scrum. You can't leave a loose ball around the Gorilla, particularly with Mr. Jackson hanging in the vicinity. He'll make you pay.
For sure. Now it's going to be put in for Gorilla Rugby. We'll slow this one up a little bit. Again, this morning, both of these squads really starting to hit their stride. 33 points up on the board for the Jockeys this morning and 29 up for Gorilla. So both of them really starting to show their potency today.
Yeah, both picking up their first victories. As 3 losses yesterday for the Jockeys, falling to Geo's Ragamuffins, Lemurs, and Nav. And two losses, I should say, and a draw yesterday for Gorilla, but both impressive earlier.
See the mistake still coming back to bite them. Another knock on there will slow things up for the Jockeys and send another turnover ball with a put in for the scrum here for Gorilla.
They really haven't been able to find the flow. Not a lot of rhythm early in this one. Jackson, lone score thus far, came off a turnover, but either team, I think, would be pleased with the attack. Still a lot of rugby remaining, over 3.5 minutes here in the first half.
Put in here for Royal Jones. Gets us going again, and the penalty is going to be awarded there. Scrum half a little bit too far offsides, and Jones knows for the try line, tries to get through. Slowed up, and now they'll recycle all the way across the pitch. Plenty of space out there, starting to close down. Eyes for the try line, around the corner, and they're in. Big time try for Gorilla.
Big time try indeed, just racing to that flag in the corner, and really that's what it was. It was a foot race. Can you catch me or not? The defender possibly not taking the best line there. And a brilliant step. You see it right in here. Jackson freezing at that second defender because he's always a factor. If number 15's in the vicinity, you have to shade toward him. That's exactly what the Jockeys did, and it opened things up for his teammate for the second try.
Scored that one in the corner, made that kick for Royal Jones that much tougher, could not find the accuracy needed. So with about 3 minutes left to play, a 12-0 lead here for Gorilla.
And Tim, we've seen it at all levels of sevens. It doesn't matter if it's Carlin Isles or Zach Jackson. If you have a game breaker, that is somebody you have to account for each and every play if they're in the vicinity. And that's what happened. Jackson, the defense is going to key on him. That opens things up. His teammates taking advantage.
Another nice kick holds up in that win. From their own 22, the Saratoga Jockeys. Beautiful little skip pass to the outside, but ran out of space. and stepped out into touch. Gorilla back with the line out.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for the Saratoga Jockeys. Just not sure of where they were on the field, and sometimes difficult to see that orange sideline, but you've got to be more careful. Mistakes you can't make trailing 12-0 in a match like this.
So line out now for Gorilla. Already a 12-point lead, under 2 minutes left to play in the first half. They decide to go deep with it. In that wind, it's knocked back by the Jockeys and stolen away. Jockeys will try some space here on the near side. 1v2 there, and a big-time tackle on the outside.
Yeah, they were trying to spring Sosa, Alejandro Sosa. He has jets, but he couldn't show him off there.
Jackson almost with another poach there on the far side, but the Jockeys scoop it up. Over the midfield stripe they come. Two chasing over the 22, and they're not going to catch them all the way in for the try. Big-time response for the Jockeys.
Big time indeed. What a try for the Jockeys. Thought man may have been caught as he was doing everything he could, but ultimately able to get across and in. That is what they needed. Under a minute remaining until half. The Jockeys finally on the board.
See that second look, just blazing pass. Would-be tacklers, too much pace all the way down for the first 5 points of the match for Jockeys. And they only put up 17 all day yesterday, but put up that big 33-point victory earlier. So plenty of time, 30 seconds left to go here in the first half. It's exactly what they needed to keep close.
Both Jones and Kyle Brown giving chase for Gorilla, neither able to catch up. Sometimes in those long runs, ball carrier starts to fade as they get closer to that goal line. Was not the case. He was able to run strong through it. That is a critical try, critical points here at this end of the first half for the Jockeys.
They'll have one final opportunity to maybe get a little bit closer. There's just the tap trying to get it over that 10-meter line, but it's scooped up by Gorilla. They take charge, nobody back on the defensive end, but the Jockeys are able to snag this one out of the air. Back and forth frantic rugby here to end the first half, but it's a knock-on for the Saratoga Jockeys. And that will take us to halftime. But back and forth action, Jockeys getting right back into it, kid.
They are indeed. It's going to be an exciting second half, just 7 points, and the final result very much hanging in the balance in half number 2.
We'll take a break, step aside, and when we come back, we'll have the final here in this bowl series, see who can take home some hardware. We'll come back to Freetail 7 after this. Second half here in this bowl championship final underway. Saratoga Jockeys were able to get one try on the board there at the end of the first half, but they trail 12-5 here to Gorilla Rugby. Tim Wilkes and Kit McConico with you, and Kit, we'll see if this Gorilla squad got a little left in the tank. They are so potent so far.
Oh, they are indeed, and we'll see what they have, but it's been impressive. Obviously, Zach Jackson, such a talent, Royal Jones, We've seen what they can do, and here they come yet again.
Big time burst through. Jockeys give and chase, and they will finally take him down from behind. Support arrives cleanly there for Gorilla. They've got a 3-on-2 on the far side of the pitch. Nice work, beautiful little skip pass to open things up. But the Jockey defense is right there on the spot. Offsides is gonna be the call though. Bit of a delay on that one, but a big time opportunity for Gorilla. Inside pass finds its target, and Royal Jones. No forward pass is gonna be the call. Strong work from the Jockeys, they get bailed out.
They do indeed, and Jones thought for all the world he was going to be in for 5. That would have been one of the easier tries of his career, but the forward pass, that is a backbreaker. You think you're going to extend the lead, ball judged to have gone forward, and that's not a mistake you could make because there wasn't any defensive pressure there, really.
Tried that little wraparound pass. We'll take a second look here. Just trying to get around, but a little too much pace there from Royal Jones to be able to slow up enough. Just a little too far forward. Now an opportunity from the Jockeys. Here, 10 meters from their own try line. Nicely done through the legs of the scrum, and they'll work it over to the right-hand side. Cut back in towards the support. Strong work from Gorillas. Not sure he released there. Referee saw the same thing. Penalty for the Jockeys.
Yeah, Alejandro Sosa, the man, they're trying to get with ball in hand. He's dangerous, but he hasn't had many opportunities in this match.
Send him back another 10 here. Possible chatter there. A quick tap, and now the Jockeys again still down by 7. Almost a bigger deficit, but they are still working hard. 4.5 minutes left to play. Into contact they go.
You said it, Tim, just a 7-point game. The Jockeys, I think they'd be served to maintain possession. They cannot turn it over, particularly in this part of the field.
Great work there to do so on the outside, and beautiful little inside pass to keep things moving. Not rolling away is going to be the call on Royal Jones, and a quick tap here for the Saratoga Jockeys. Just holding this one up. Got plenty of support over the left-hand side. Let's see if they can make a couple passes to get it out there. Bobbled away, scooped up by Gorilla, and they will cash in. What a big-time turn of events. Another breakaway try, and a big one there for Gorilla.
Look what I found, says the big man. A gift, and he takes it to the house. Does number 3 for Gorilla, right between the posts. That is a huge try momentum-wise, just when it looked like the Jockeys had things going. A bobbled pass, couldn't secure it, and Gorilla happy to take it the other way for a try.
Kyle Brown out of Fort Worth, Texas, American International College player, brings it home, and just like that, a couple of little mistakes that have been cashed in here by Gorilla Rugby. And that one extends the lead to a 14-point advantage.
They call him K Breezy. He says if I look slow, it's because I cut my hair and I lost my aerodynamic ability. I'm not quite sure that's how aerodynamics works, but we'll give it to him.
Part of the HEB Hurricanes' second place 2019 Sevens run was a big part of that as well. So again, the Dallas native brings them back with that 14-point lead, but a couple of little boots, some soccer action here for the Jockeys. Turning into some polo players out there, booting it down the pitch, but in the end, it was knocked on by Saratoga, and we'll have a scrum down for Gorilla.
I thought that was going to be a chance for the Jockeys, but instead, you said scrum down for Gorilla. They will make changes, bringing some fresh legs on, and at this point, leading by 12. They just need to maintain possession, not do anything rash, and certainly not turn it over to allow the Jockeys back into this one.
This Gorilla Rugby squad, again, a perennial powerhouse out of the DFW area, but really pulling players from all over the country. Not exactly what they were hoping for here this weekend with those losses yesterday, but they have been outstanding here on day 2, and they are just 2 minutes away from clinching the bowl final.
That was not the first day they were hoping for. Two losses in the draw. But they were impressive, 29-0 victors in their semifinal over Geo's Ragamuffins. What you wanted to see, a bounce back like that. They've certainly brought it here in day 2.
Anytime you can take home a little bit of hardware, especially on New Year's Eve, out to the party, showing that you are champions.
And you're going to have a good time no matter what, but if you can bring hardware, that's going to make it a lot sweeter.
Opportunity for Gorilla. There's that burst of speed straight through the defense. Tired legs there for the Jockeys. Final chase is on, but they are in for the try with a minute left. They extend this one now 24-5.
Quinn Western, the Frostburg State man, able to find the exclamation point, and that is going to do it, securing the victory. Still time remaining, but I don't see any way the Jockeys are going to be able to come back into this with under a minute left.
So such a potent side here for Gorilla. And sad to see yesterday just couldn't get everything clicking the way they needed to, but boy, have they looked tough on day 2. Kick off the mark, so 24-5 now with just about 30 seconds left to play.
Yeah, 2 impressive matches today, both victories, and in the process they've conceded a measly 5 points today. Really night and day from what we saw yesterday to today, and sometimes that's how it is. It takes a little time, but unfortunately in a 2-day tournament, you don't have that time. If you don't come out clicking on all cylinders, you may not be able to play for that ultimate prize, and that's been the case for Gorilla.
Should be about the final play here. Stay tuned, we've got more action coming your way right after this, culminating this evening in that championship series. Let's see who takes home the Freetail 7's 2023 gear. And right now, Jockeys, horn sound, they've still got possession, earning themselves the penalty. Quick tap, and they'll look to put a final 5 up on the board here, but they've got a ways to go. Right at about midfield. Gorilla take them down. They're able to rip that one out in the scrum, or excuse me, in the tackle. They're going to call not releasing the call. Did so illegally, and an opportunity here for the Jockeys. Near side they come, trying some space there around the side. Little cut back, find support with them. Low pass though, gets knocked forward, and that will do it. Our final score 24-5. Saratoga Jockeys made to the game there in the second half, but a couple of exclamation point tries for Gorillas give them the victory.
I give them credit, they were able to battle, but ultimately there's just too much from Gorilla. An impressive performance, conceding just the 5 points, and this is what they hoped they'd see yesterday, but they ultimately get it in day 2.
So great work there for Gorilla Rugby. Not quite what they are hoping for, but they are your 2023 Bowl champions. We will step aside. We've got the plate final coming up next here live from Freetail 7's.